Thank you so much for joining me today. I am to be talking about essential oils because right now, a lot of us are at home and we're taking care of families, and we may not be feeling super fully prepared about using oils inside of our own home, or we've got oils, we've got a ton of oils, and we don't know how to use them. We don't know exactly what the good safety measurements for essential oils are. We want to boost our systems, our family's immune system. We want to make sure that our health is staying at peak capacity, that our house is staying healthy. All of those things are going down. So what I wanted to first do before I start getting questions coming in, because if you have questions, I've got answers. I've been studying essential oils for over 9 years now. And I am a researcher more than anything at all. And so I want to be able to make sure that I'm answering all of your questions today, whatever they may come up. Now, are there specific issues and concerns? I can't go super deep into those because when essential oils aren't designed to treat a specific condition, they're designed to support our body in the process. And also, I just don't know enough about you to make any type of assessment about what's going on specifically with you. So just note that let's keep it as general as possible in terms of asking questions. That way I can serve a wider audience. And that's always what I'm looking to do. Like, how can we provide wonderful solutions in our household for everyday things that come up? Things like neck tension and sleep issues and anxiety and stress and green cleaning and sore shoulders, just digestive stuff that comes up, all that stuff that happens all the time in our everyday world. That's going to be the thing I want to focus on. So first question I get all the time, and I talk a lot about it in my Smart Mom's Guide to Essential Oil book. I also talk about it in my 101 Essential Oil course, which a lot of people love because this course specifically gives you recipes, guides, dilutions, everything you could possibly want to know how to use oils, plus actual videos on how to make blends, how to make a sleep blend, how to make a brain fog blend, how to make a hormone blend. So everything's built into this course that we are offering for literally a quarter of the price that we normally offered online. And so I'll be talking a little bit about the course as well, because I know that although I'm going to do my best to answer all the questions, there's not enough time. The course that I created is hours long, many, many hours long, and it really goes into bite-sized chunks into how to use your oils, how to make sure that you know what you're doing every single day to help support you and your family. Okay, so what is an essential oil? So essential oil is an aromatic chemical constituent. Now, these aromatic chemical constituents come from all over plants all over the world. They come from the bark, the stems, the leaves, the flowers, everywhere, anywhere. It really depends on the type of oil where we're actually getting the oil from. So an example of this is peppermint. Peppermint is such a great example. I have tangerine right now. I can tell you where tangerine comes from in just a second. But peppermint comes from the peppermint leaves. And if you were to take a microscope and look deep down into the peppermint leaf, you'd see these little oil sacs, and that is the essential oil. So peppermint is steam distilled. It is sent through a distillation process, and then bam, we've got this really high concentration version of peppermint oil. Now, why essential oils? What are they doing for the body? And that's such a great question. The one thing I do want to recognize or do want to just clear up is that essential oils are not nutrition. They're not like kale or blueberries or strawberries, but they are organic chemistry made with ketones and hydrogens, nitrogens, sulfurs, like aldehydes, all the different types of organic chemistry. And I was an A student in OChem, so I really understand how the chemistry works inside of the body. But basically, what I think plants have, been put on this earth to do is really serve us. Whether it is blueberries and strawberries and kale and spinach and bell peppers for those phytochemicals, for all those antioxidants, those nutrients, minerals, vitamins, cofactors. We're supposed to eat plants. That's the thing of it. And then you think about herbs. You think about things like ashwagandha. You think about lion's mane, like mushrooms. You think about rhodiola or holy basil and all the beautiful herbs that we can use to help cordyceps. I mean, so many wonderful adaptogenic herbs that we can leverage to our own, again, chemistry. They're adaptive. They work inside of our bodies in a really beautiful way. They can help our hormones function. They can help our neurotransmitters function. And then we've got oils. And oils, again, same kind of chemistry, same kind of plant-based medicine, as we are using what plants use to thrive in nature. It's basically what we're doing. Plants fight viruses too. Plants are dealing with threats. plants are having to thrive in a very harsh environment. They don't have homes to live in. They've got to handle business around. So we are leveraging the chemistry that plants use to stay alive. And lo and behold, super cool. And there are thousands of research articles that demonstrate and prove this. And I've read a lot of them, and I have cited them here. I've also cited them in this one right here, the essential oils hormone solution. But the oils actually work on a cellular level to help to improve our biochemistry, which I think is so, so cool. So I love to talk about them in terms of how they can actually work in our bodies to address key concerns that we're dealing with. So that is what essential oils are. Now I want to talk about powerful effectiveness, supercharged potency. So as I talked about that little peppermint leaf, right, distilling that out so that we could get those beautiful essential oils. Now, I don't know about you, but I love peppermint tea. I love tea in general. I love all kinds of teas. I love rooibos teas. I love chamomile tea as well. And when we think about peppermint tea, or we even think about a chamomile tea, we know that 1 cup of peppermint tea, right, it can be pretty abundant for us. But 1 drop of peppermint, I'm trying to see if I've got a peppermint. I got peppermint right here. 1 drop of peppermint is the equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. And I don't know about you, but that's pretty powerful. That's what we're talking about. So a little goes a long way. Just very little goes a long way. Now, when it comes to quality of essential oils, I just want to talk a little bit about that because quality does matter. Just like our supplements, just like our food, just like a lot of things that we buy, right? We got to be mindful about quality, especially if we're using something to help support our bodies. So I always love talking about quality because there's a lot of oils on the market that are not that great because they are synthetic. They have adulterants in them, meaning they've got all kinds of solvents and funkiness in them. And, you know, they're just not meant for our biochemistry. Could you use them to clean stuff with? I guess so, but I definitely wouldn't consume them by any, I wouldn't consume them. I wouldn't put them, I wouldn't apply them. I wouldn't breathe them in because they're not very helpful to the body. So just know that. So an example of this is Coca-Cola. Did you know that Coca-Cola, or Pepsi or any of them, that what makes that flavor, what makes Coca-Cola taste like Coca-Cola all the time is essential oils. It's like clove and cinnamon. It's like a whole menage of synthetic essential oils that they use to make the flavor of Coca-Cola. And it's got to be synthetic because Coca-Cola better taste the exact same way every time because that's the experience that you're looking, well, hopefully you're not looking for, somebody's looking for. So just a little note on that. Now, from what I understand and all the research that I've gone into, about 90 to 95% of the oils on the market, which a lot of you wouldn't even see those. They're industrialized essential oils. Those are synthetic. They're designed for industrialized purposes. Then we've got kind of what I call grass standard. And grass standard, what that means is that they could be consumed. So they're in like spearmint bubble gum, or they are in packaged products, or they are, they are found in kind of edible type products. There's a lot of essential oils and products that you and I don't even know about because they make a flavor. Like they're used in LaCroix and they're used in like sparkling waters. So you'll see essential oils. So grass standard means basically safe to consume. Then you've got the last version of essential oils, which is therapeutic grade. And therapeutic grade comes in a lot of different grades. There's no governing body. There's no FDA or FCC that's governing how essential oils are tested for their purity. It really is reliant on the company. So just a heads up on that. So when you're looking at oils, I highly recommend you look at the company that you are looking to buy oils from, because that company, what they'll tell you or not, or does not disclose, one, where they get their oils, because oils are from all over the world, from Guatemala to Brazil to Hawaii to New Zealand to Australia to India to Europe to Bulgaria to Canada to Washington. I mean, they're all over, everywhere, all around the world, because different plants grow in a different level of habitat. So depending on where that habitat is for that plant, that's where you're going to find the essential oils are cultivated from. So it just really depends around the world who grows that oil best. And if a company is transparent, they're going to tell you where their oils are coming from. Also, they're going to also disclose how their oils are tested. This is super, super important. So when it comes to purity, you're looking for some specific tests. And I'll tell you what, I talk about it inside the course. I talk about it inside the book. I go into mass detail, probably more detail than you would want inside of the book. But you're basically looking for mass spectrometry, gas chromatography, isotope testing. You're looking for organoleptic testing. I mean, there's chirality testing. I mean, a lot of different areas that we can be looking at when it comes to the testing of the purity of essential oils. And a company who is going to go at length to spend the money to test third party in a laboratory with aromatherapists and biochemists and organic chemists, they're going to let you know that they're spending the money. Same thing with organic, right? If an organic farm is organic, they're going to let you know that they're doing organic practices because it costs a lot of money to run organic practices. So just a heads up, you're looking for those types of things. So just do your research. So as you know, if you've been following me on Instagram, or if you follow me inside of Facebook, if you're with me now, if you connect with me online, you know that I'm a big doTERRA girl. I love doTERRA oils. I've recommended essential oils to millions of people around the world and how to use them. What I love about doTERRA is that they are so committed to research, and I have found that the results are repeated over and over and over again. So if I want to elicit a response in my body, I know what oil to do that with. And every time I use that oil, bam, the result I'm looking for happens. Because let's be honest, you and we want results. I know I want results. And so the way that we get results is that we use something that is consistent, right? It's going to give me the same result. Like if I put Deep Blue Rub on, because I've got a nasty kink in my neck, I don't know if you know, but I had lots of head trauma when I was a little girl, and my neck has never been the same. It's we are so delicate human beings, and it's not hard to mess up our neuroskeletal system. And so it's always been an issue, and I got to be so careful. I get massage, I get ART work done, I get chiropractic work done, I use essential oil, I take supplements, I do all these things just to protect this little neck of mine. And I'll tell you what, the Deep Blue, I've been using it for 8+ years, and man, it delivers every single time. And I love that. I use it every day. I use it multiple times a day. And I just like that I have something that I can really rely on. So enough said about quality, purity, all that stuff. Next is, how do we use them? That's a question I get all the time. Like, how do I use oils? This is very confusing. There's thousands of them. There's not actually thousands of them. There's a good 100 or so essential oils out there. And yes, I own them all. And so what we're looking at is 3 different ways: aromatic, topical, and internal. Now, aromatic is one of my favorite, and there's only 3 ways. I like aromatic and topical the most. And aromatic is super easy because you simply and if you've got an oil right now, then get it out, grab it. I know it's in the middle of the afternoon, or it's even the evening for some of you. We've got to perk it up, right? So someone asked me about focus and concentration. I have my Instant Energy Duo is literally right here in front of me, which is peppermint and wild orange. And so I'm just going to do a little drop of each. These are my best friends. They're with me. This is literally my workspace where I record my podcast. And so no doubt these are next to me at all times. So simply putting them on your palms, breathing them in. Whew, I like instant energy like that. Again, we want results. I want reliability. If I know this little duo, I call it the Instant Energy Blend, I know they're going to perform every single time. And thank you, because right now I could use all the energy I can get. And I don't know about you, maybe you could use that as well. So those 2 combined. Now you can also diffuse them. So another great way to use oils, probably the easiest way to use oils, is into this diffuser right here. I love how easy and seamless it is to just put oils in. Clearly this one, it doesn't have water in it right now, but you would just dump water into it, not with a lemon, but dump water in, put a couple drops of oil in, like pop, pop, and then like that, and then just shut it and let it, and set it and forget it. It's kind of like a crock pot for essential oils, and just let it do its thing. Let it boost mood, let it clean the air, let it boost the immune system, let it help you go to sleep at night, let it reduce stress and calm the environment down. There's so many different ways to use it aromatically. Let it open up airways, right? Let it open up your sinuses. Let it bring out focus and concentration. That's what this is going to be great for, is just being able to put it next to your desk, or in your kitchen, or in your bedroom, depending on what you're using it for. Those are how I like to use them aromatically. Now, topical is actually the first way I use essential oils way back in the day, because as a practitioner, I was in my practice and I was recommending oils for stomach aches. I was recommending oils for tension. I was recommending oils for temple tension headaches. And I was recommending oils for respiratory support. I was recommending oils for like stuff. It's stuff that happens to people every day. I was recommending oils for stress and sleep and anxiety. I mean, all that. And so when it came to using them for those kind of concerns, topical was the way to use them. And I am a big fan of topical usage. I use oils topically all the time, constantly. And one of my oils that I always love to take with me everywhere I go is this little adaptive, and it's a mood support blend. And right now, mental health is a major concern for all of us. We have family members having panic attacks. We got family members stressing out. Maybe you're stressing out. Maybe you're feeling pretty worried and concerned about what the heck is going to happen, right? I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how long we're going to be in this house. And so lots of what ifs and lots of concerns definitely triggers up a lot of stuff in us. And so this little blend right here, I swear to goodness, we are like two peas in a pod. We go everywhere together. I'm like, come on, adaptive, just come over here with me and then come over here with me. And I don't know if anyone is having that experience, let me know. But this is a blend by doTERRA that's literally meant for mental health support. And ooh, it is I'm just like all the time doing this. Pretty much you'll see me on videos. This is what I'm putting on, is the adaptive blend. And so again, using essential oils topically for whatever the issue is. Now, when it comes to topical, always dilute your oil. So I love little rollers. I'm just going to roll over here to grab a roller blend. So I love little rollers. And this is a roller that I've got tons of these around the house, and I pre-make a bunch of roller blends depending on what the issue is. So it's a digestive roller, or it's an immunity roller. I have an immunity balm blend that I can share with you in just a moment. I have stress blends. I've got anxious blends. I got all kinds of blends depending on what you're looking for. I've got migraine blends. And so it's basically what's nice about having it in a roller already. It's pre-diluted. You don't have to worry about dealing with dilution. It's already ready to roll, ready to rock and roll. You just put it in your purse or carry it around, kind of like I'm doing right now with my little adaptive blend, just walking around the house with it. And then you're going to apply it to wherever the area of concern is. So for instance, if you are dealing with gas and bloating and it's uncomfortable, you're not going to put oils on your ankle, or you're not going to put oils on your neck, because that's not the area of concern, right? It's the stomach, it's the smaller, large intestine. That's where we want to aim for. And it doesn't have to be exact. Just kind of get it around that area and you're good to go. So again, if you've got you got some kind of neck stuff going on, you got like a tweak in your neck. Again, maybe not put it on your elbow, put it where you got a problem. And so that is super simple. Other places that I love to put oils, I think super, super easy. And we're going to get into now what kind of oils and what kind of solutions. Other places I love pulse points. So right here on the wrist, right here on the neck, ankles as well. So those are going to be where we have a lot of like our blood flow is happening there. Very open pores, very easy to absorb into the tissue, because oils do absorb into our bloodstream and then they go to work on a systemic level. So we want to make sure that they're already pre-diluted, they're ready to roll, and you can just use them whenever you need them. The other thing that's super important about topical and or aromatic is consistency. I know that many of us are trying to keep our families safe. I know many of us are trying to keep our immune system up. We're trying to stay focused. We're trying to stay reducing stress levels. I'll tell you what, oils are not a one and done. They are not a one and done. You got to use them, and so I would just, it takes time. It becomes a habit. But when you check in with yourself and ask, what do I need? Like, am I about to strangle someone in my household? Or am I about to eat the entire home? Or am I feeling really like a lot of palpitations? Like, it's time to grab something, right? It's time to grab an essential oil. It's time to, or if I'm feeling super brain fogged and exhausted, like let's get an oil on you. And that's kind of how I operate. Like every day I'm just gut checking throughout the day. And I'm like, I'm not feeling 100%. I got to go and show up. So let me get some oils on so I can turn it on, right? And so that's going to happen. Or if I've worked too late, I'm not going to pretend like I haven't been working late, because I have been working late to get this book done in time. So I've been working till like 1 a.m. some nights. I'll tell you what, this brain is just like, You guys have that where your brain's just racing? And so I gotta just shut that down. So you can use oils for that as well. So what I want to do is I want to segue the conversation. And a lot of what I'm sharing with you today is inside my 101 essential oil course, because I wanted to create something. Like, I remember when I developed that course a couple years back, I had asked like almost 200 women and moms. It didn't, I'm not a mom yet. We're trying to get there, but women and moms, about what it is that you need to start using oils for your family. Like, how do you feel confident using essential oils for everyday health emergencies? And basically, they were like, I need to know dilutions. I need to know where to put it. I need to know specific recipes, and then how to make the recipes. And so I took all of that information and I compiled it into 5 modules that address all of those concerns, so that we all felt confident using these oils. And I'll tell you what, the mamas that are using oils on their kids every single day, it is a game change. Not only does it empower you to feel like you've got solutions at your fingertips, like literally in your home, you just grab an oil, put it on, and then everyone's feeling good, right? It's the first line of defense. But then also, what I really love, this is what I love so much, is that kids begin to fall in love with these oils and they demand them. They love them. They're like, hey, mama, I'm tired. Where's my sleepy oil? Or mama, I got an owie. Where's the oil for that? Or mama, I'm about to, and kids know when they have a meltdown and they're like, where's my meltdown oil? And so I think, to be able, like, teaching kids to garden and teaching kids to cook, but also teaching kids to have safe plant-based solutions at their fingertips. My husband grew up with a mom who was this amazing healer. And his whole life, he was around oils. They used eucalyptus to help him breathe better. They would use wintergreen to help when he had growing pains. And they would use lavender when he couldn't sleep at night. And so he had grown up with these oils. Me, I grew up with Tylenol. And ain't nothing wrong with growing up with Tylenol. But like, I wish I would have known that I could have used something different, something a little less harsh on my gut and my liver. And I definitely paid the price. So one of the just real quick story is that when I was 7 years old, I was in a series of really severe head traumas. And by the time I was 8, I had chronic migraine pain. I literally was living in chronic pain all the time. And if I didn't have a migraine that day, I surely had a headache. And, when I was young, I tried to sleep it off. I'd have a headache for 2 to 3 days. I'd miss school, I'd miss classes. And I remember just always having this like little cold cloth over my head. I used to pray to go to sleep. And then as I got older in my teenage years, I was allowed to self-dose because I always believed, because I was told by every doctor that I would have migraines for the rest of my life. There was nothing I can do about it. So I would have to self-medicate. And as I was a teenager, I was allowed to take Emitrex and Excedrin migraine and Advil migraine, Advil or Advil migraine, depending on what was going on. I had a different combination of dosage. And even as a teenager, in my backpack, you could hear these medicines, these non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. And what ended up happening is I used to wash them down with diet soda. Diet Pepsi was my drug of choice. And I ended up eroding and getting really bad stomach ulcers. I don't even know what I had done to my liver. And I just wish I would have known that there was something else out there. One, I ended up getting rid of my migraines at 24 years old, and it literally changed the course of my life because my paradigm about medicine changed as well. But the point is that as a little kid, had we had different solutions, it could have looked a little bit different for me. And so that's what I really want to set you up with. Right now, we get to choose. We have a lot of different options. We've got nutrition, we've got self-care, we've got essential oils, we've got kind of this line of defense that we can use. So what I want to do now is I want to open it up for questions around essential oils and to see if you have any specific questions. I know someone had asked me what oils for focus and concentration. And I surveyed my audience a couple days ago, and we got thousands and thousands of responses. I was just asking women, because women are who I serve. And I always say that I serve everybody because I serve women. Because let's be honest, we're taking care of the household. As my husband's right there, ask him who gets the supplements ready every single day. It's going to be me. And he is good about using his oils though. So when it came to like, what do my women want? And my women, they're mamas, they're taking care of everybody. They're women who are taking care of everybody. They're just concerned with their families. And what came back is that we're feeling tired. we're feeling sleep deprived, we're feeling anxious, and we're feeling brain fogged. So what I do want to do is address those things as well. So I think that those, I'm just looking for more questions, because those are the things that popped up by the thousands and thousands of people. So number one, brain fog. So if I had a brain, and I do have some of these images on Instagram, I also have them all in the course as well. So just a heads up there. So here, what you do, a little 10 mil roller, just like this. And it could just be as simple as applying a roller with peppermint and wild orange. And it could just be 7 drops of each in a 10 mil roller, and then top it off with fractionated coconut oil. If you wanted to like bump it up, it could be 10 drops of each. And if you wanted to add a little something to that, you could do 5 drops of peppermint, you could do wild orange, you could do grapefruit, and you could do rosemary. So those would be the things I would do for a brain fog be gone. Top it off fractionated oil, and then you would just apply it all around the back of the neck where, well, let's be honest, that's where we're feeling the brain fog, and that's really going to wake the brain up, wake you up. And those oils are phenomenal at helping to boost acetylcholine, helping to get the brain firing on all cylinders again. So super great to use. Hey, Cynthia, honey. Next is, can you get into the Slim and Sassy oil? Sure. So someone's asking me about Slim and Sassy, and that is a Slim and Sassy is, I think it's a cravings blend that doTERRA makes. It's got a combination of ginger, cinnamon, lemon, grapefruit, peppermint. And what I love so much about it is that it really can help you overcome a craving. Now, let's talk a little bit about what cravings are real quick. Those are unmet needs, and it's oftentimes we're emotionally eating. And you know, I think we all emotionally eat. It just depends on the spectrum that you're on. You could be like a minor emotional eater, or you could be a mega emotional eater where you may have food addictions. And so what I love about the Slim and Sassy is if you are feeling like there's this craving that comes out of nowhere, you could grab that blend. We're just going to pretend like I have it in front of me. You could put it into a roller, or you could just add it to your palms, breathe it in for, you know, five deep belly breaths, and it will reset the craving center. Also, that blend is phenomenal for brain fog and boosting brain function and boosting happy neurotransmitters. And so it kind of knocks out like 3 birds with 1 stone. So you feel like you're you're just in a much better place. So I do love the Slim and Sassy oil as well. Okay. So LaShawn asked, Dr. Mariza, what is the total number of drops to use for adaptive or any other blend to make a 10 ml roller? Such a great question. So for adults is a great question. So I typically aim for anywhere between 15 to 20 drops of an essential oil in a 10 ml roller. So that's what I would do if I was making a roller, as I would aim anywhere between 15 to 20 drops. That puts you at around 10% dilution. And I feel like it's a pretty conservative dilution. If you feel like you need to go more conservative, you can. But with that dilution, I've been using that for years, and I've had no issues ever with anyone that I've ever worked with working with a 10% dilution. Now with kids, it does change, and I talk a lot about that inside of the course of, you know, what do you recommend for a 6-month-old versus a 1-year-old versus a 3-year-old versus a 5-year-old versus a 10-year-old. And that does change. And so sometimes it starts as low as 1%, and then it goes to 2% and 4%. And so in the course, I talk a lot about percentages and how to make blends based on the age of a child, or even for babies and toddlers too. So just note that that is all in the course. But for adults, anywhere around a 10% dilution, which is around 15 to 20 drops, that's usually where I start with. And if you find it's not working, add a little bit more. Like, that's okay too. Sometimes when I'm dealing with because occasionally, like once a year, I will get a migraine, and I need to really step that up. And so I will add a little bit more peppermint oil to that. I mean, that's the thing, is your body is your body. And it's always important to kind of test it and see what works best for you. So it's one oil, it may be very little of it. Another oil, you may need a lot of it. And so just being mindful about what your chemistry needs. Tinker Lucas, what oils are good for healing a brain aneurysm? That is a great question. Now, there is no research that demonstrates that oils can heal a brain aneurysm. But what I'd recommend, oils that could support your brain function in general, are going to be frankincense and sandalwood. They have really rich sequiterpenes, and sequiterpenes are wonderful as a regenerative essential oil. They're great for healing. So if you're looking for regenerative properties, you're looking for really powerful healing properties, especially in the brain. It's going to be frankincense and sandalwood, maybe even some vetiver. So the really strong wood oils are going to get the job done because they tend to be high psychoterpene rich. That would be my example for that. Next, can oils help with spasms? Yeah, well, I don't know what kind of spasm is, if it's a gut spasm, like a small intestinal spasm, or it's an overactive, muscle, like maybe a calf muscle. Yes, oils can absolutely help kind of simmer things down a notch. So oils that would be great for that are oils in the phenol group, which is going to be in the ester group. So things like jasmine, things like lavender, clary sage, Roman chamomile, cedarwood, those are going to be really calming for our muscles. Also, copaiba would be really great as well. And that has a lot of endocannabinoids in it, which are really great for any type of spasming that's going on. So those would be my answers to those questions. Any other questions? And if not, I can just start kind of going through a lot of different solutions that I know right now. If you like, I could talk about the immune system, and I have an entire module that really focuses inside of the 101 course on immunity, right? How to support the respiratory system, how to support the immune system, what we can do to protect our cells inside of our body. It's going to be super important. So my go-to oils for protecting the immune system are going to be eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is phenomenal for opening up airways, supporting the alveoli, supporting the bronchi, and cardamom too. If you want an oil for respiratory for babies and young toddlers, it's going to be cardamom. I know we think about cardamom as like a really sexy spice, but cardamom is phenomenal, not only for digestive support, but also respiratory support. So for babies, I love cardamom and lime to help open up the airways. Now, so eucalyptus, cardamom, yes. And then next, peppermint too. Peppermint's great. Next, for supporting our cells on a cellular level, clove oil is going to be huge. Frankincense is going to be huge. Tea tree oil is going to be huge as well. Tea tree oil is like the ultimate astringent, ultimate first aid oil. Love, love, love it. We go through like a bottle of tea tree oil all the time. And then the other one, which I think is super powerful and super gets the job done, is going to be oregano. Now, I call oregano the obliterator. It goes in and just cleans up shop and really makes sure that the immune system is doing its job. So if you, when in doubt, get yourself some oregano oil. It is going to get the job done. I recommend topical. I'll share a little bit about my my little immunity balm recipe. It's a little roller like this, and it's going to be 5 drops of tea tree. It's going to be 3 drops of oregano. It's going to be 3 drops of clove and 3 drops of lemon. And you just top it off with fractionated coconut oil, apply that to the bottom of the feet every single day. Because again, what did I say earlier? Consistency is everything, right? So let's be consistent about using our oils for the immune system every single day, right? And diffusing things like cardamom and eucalyptus in our house to keep our respiratory system running like a fine-tuned machine. Okay, someone asked about congestion. So congestion, again, lemon is a congestion buster, just goes in and cleans it up. So I love lemon for that. Also for allergies, I know seasonal allergies are happening right now. I love lemon, peppermint, and lavender are a powerful little trio that are phenomenal for helping to support allergies and just kind of helping to keep things open. So you can do it in a little roller. I recommend usually 5 to 7 drops of each in a little roller, and then roll it on your palms, breathe it in, and that can help with allergies. And again, all of these recipes are in my course. All of these ways in order to use the oils, how to make them work for you are in the course as well. Just a heads up. Okay, someone asked for morning sickness. Now, here's the thing about morning sickness is every woman's a little bit different, no doubt, right? And some women don't even get morning sickness. How dare them? Just kidding. So morning sickness, usually the oils that women love the most are going to be, and again, you may not tolerate some of these oils, but peppermint, ginger, and lemon or any citrus oil. So grapefruit and lemon in particular, because they're very clean, they're very fresh, they're very bright, and they don't tend to upset. And so it's just breathing them in, or you can add, like I said, we didn't talk about your internal usage to some degree. It's a little bit of controversy in that, and I think it can be very beneficial if you're very specific about why you use them. But when it comes to morning sickness, I usually recommend aromatic, just breathing them in. So again, breathing in ginger, breathing in peppermint, or breathing in a lemon or a grapefruit. One of those is going to work. I don't know which one is going to work for you. I just know that they work. And so everyone's different. It just really depends. One of my best friends, grapefruit was the ticket. So just heads up. Next is going to be, so these are specific issues that I don't have research on. So chronic alopecia. I don't. We got to find out what's going on inside, what's driving that inflammatory process, what's driving that potential, that autoimmune process. There isn't necessarily an oil. Now, I do love oils for I don't know if you can tell, I got some luxurious hair, and it is big, it's boisterous. It's like its own entity. It's like I call this my Shaka Khan hair. In particular today, it's like super voluminous. But I do a lot of things for my hair because I got big curly hair and I don't like it too big. And the oils that I use to keep it shiny and healthy and happy, I do have oils for that. And the oils can help grow hair. So my little blend of hair oils is peppermint, rosemary, lavender, and geranium. Those are my go-to oils for hair. And who doesn't want sexy hair? I mean, really luxurious hair. I would never trade this. This is mine. So those are the oils I would use. Again, lavender, peppermint, geranium, and rosemary. What I do is in a bottle like this, I just like do 40 drops of each, fill it up, keep it in my shower, put it into my conditioner, and then just really get it in there. Your pores are really open in hot, like a hot bath or a hot shower. And I let them sit in there for a while and then I rinse it out. So that's what I do for hair. Next, someone said for veins. Unfortunately, varicose veins is all about like cardiovascular insufficiency. I don't know an essential oil can fix that necessarily, but maybe like just helping to support your cardiovascular system. I love frankincense for that. Someone's asking for hand tremors. My go-to oil for supporting neurological function is going to be copaiba. So copaiba under the tongue or topically in the area of concern is going to be what I would use. I would definitely give copaiba a try. Next, someone asked on Insta, I heard you shouldn't use oregano oil every day. You shouldn't. You should not use oregano oil every day. It is an obliterator. It does go in and clean up shop, especially if you take it internally. It'll mess with your microbiome because it kills a lot of bacteria. I called it the obliterator. So again, if you're worried about getting sick or you're worried about you're dealing with something specific, that's when you take oregano. Yes. And I think, the time like now is probably a better time. And you could get away with taking oregano for weeks. It's just a matter, you don't take it every single day, 300 plus days out of the year. You got to be specific. So yeah, and guess what? You don't want to take oregano every day. It doesn't smell good. It doesn't taste good. And so just something to be mindful there. It smells like someone just put your face in a pizza, right? It's not sexy at all. So it's not like I'm ever wearing oregano oil. My husband's like, yeah, pizza. Woohoo! We don't eat pizza in this house. So he gets really excited when I mention the word pizza. Okay. Restless leg syndrome. Yes. So oils for restless leg are going to be, again, those calming oils. It's, when our muscles are not able to calm down, lavender is a great one. Roman chamomile is a great one. Cedarwood's a great one. Those are going to be my go-tos. Even maybe a little bit of wintergreen are going to be great for that. I do have a lot of great muscle blends and kind of, blends to kind of calm the nervous system. Copaiba may be a great one here too. Inside of the course, that's like really where I have so much of this information as well. Oh, the difference between copaiba and CBD. I could do an entire lecture on this. So CBD connects into the endocannabinoid. Both are endocannabinoids. One connects into the CB1 receptors. The other one connects into the CB2 receptors. So one specifically affecting the neurological system. The other one's affecting the endocrine system. They are both endocannabinoids. And the one thing I can say about copaiba, like the big difference is it's cheaper. It's safer in some instances. It's definitely legal everywhere as well. So those are the big things. If you get a high quality CBD, it's going to be expensive. And you know, quality is always super important. And again, unfortunately, CBD isn't fully available in every state yet. So I like Copaiba because it is a pretty much super safe option. And it's connecting in, like, again, both of them are connecting in with the endocannabinoid system. What people use Copaiba for is anxiousness, stress, emotional resilience. They use it for muscle spasms, muscle aches, anything going on with the neurological system as well. And so kind of the endocannabinoid system is very similar to the hormone system. The hormone system definitely still rules the roost, but the endocannabinoid system comes in second place for sure. So those are the big differences between the two. I mean, chemically, it just really depends on the type of CBD you're working with, but again, they do go into different pathways. So that's the thing there. I do like that CBD is that Copaiba can be very inexpensive to get your hands on, which is nice because, again, with people being mindful about money right now, Copaiba is a very inexpensive option if that's a concern for you. So someone asked for joints. So when it comes to joints, right, again, we want to make sure that our joints are happy, that we're moving our body as much as possible. But I get that sometimes inflammation gets a hold of them, and for all different kinds of reasons. So oils I would use on joints, it would be frankincense, lavender, again, oils that are just naturally like relievers of any kind of joint discomfort. Wintergreen is a great one as well. Basil, I love basil. If you ever had like a Charlie horse or like a nasty knot like in your neck or in your shoulder or in your scapula, basil just like literally melts muscles. Like massage therapists love basil for that reason. So I would definitely, if you're dealing with any type of muscle funkiness, like a tightness, basil is your go-to. And then yeah, for joints, I would definitely frankincense, not basil, not so much. Frankincense, if you can get your hands on birch, which is really hard to get your hands on. Birch is great, but again, very rare. So birch is a good one. Wintergreen's a great one. And then lavender is also a great one. And here's the thing about lavender and frankincense is when in doubt, those are your two oils. They are literally Swiss Army knives when it comes to helping to support the body. Peppermint's also a great one as well when it comes to sore joints. And I already addressed thin hair. I talked about getting thicker hair. It was that little hair blend I was talking about earlier. Someone asked, Copaiba for neurological support, how many drops? It really just depends on what's going on with you. I always recommend 1 to 2 drops any given sitting. It just depends on the extensiveness of the neurological situation. Some people may need Copaiba multiple times a day. Other people, they're good just a couple times a day. It really depends on what's going on with your body. Also with anxiousness, right? If you're feeling anxious 5 times a day, you may need oils. You definitely need oils 5 times a day. If you only feel anxious once, probably only need them once. Any other questions? So someone asked infection for teeth. Again, oil, I can't promise oils are going to get rid of an infection. But I get that maybe you can't get to the dentist if there was an oil. So what dentists have been using forever is clove oil. So clove oil is your go-to oil for teeth stuff. Gargling or like literally applying it right to that area of concern. Then someone asked what oils can get your period back. I wish it was that simple. I wish I could just be like, here's an oil to get your period back. I'd be a gajillionaire, that's for sure. It's a way more complicated thing that your period is gone. The question is why? Why is your period gone? That's the good question to be asking yourself. Is it a gut issue? Is it a sugar issue? Are you stressed? Is your pituitary gland struggling? Are you working out too hard? Like, is it PCOS? I just don't know. And there are definitely oils that can help and support all of those areas. But it's really, you got to figure out what's going on. One of my dear friends, Nicole Jardam, has a book coming out called Fix Your Period. Literally comes out like in 2 weeks. I recommend that book. And I will have her on the podcast when her book goes live as well. And we really talk about what really drives your period to not be working anymore. It's not your period. Something's going on somewhere in the body that's affecting your menstrual cycle. Your menstrual cycle is like it's a fifth vital sign. It's like your temperature or your heart rate or your blood pressure. If something's wrong with that, that's a warning sign that something's not right in the body somewhere. I don't know exactly what it is for you, but I just know that there's no magic pill or bullet or essential oil that's going to bring it back. It's got to be a multifaceted approach. And I talk about it if you want to. I mean, it's in this book right here, that's for sure. And it's also in her book, Fix Your Period. So those would be the places I would go look. Let's see, oils for lung support. So as I mentioned earlier, I talked a lot about the oils for lung support. It's going to be eucalyptus, cardamom, peppermint. Other oils I would consider as well are going to be, I would recommend manuka. If you can get your hands on manuka, that would be a great oil as well. It's out of New Zealand. It just really depends on what kind of oil access you've got. Those would be, and then if you're using doTERRA oils, I would use Breathe. So Breathe is a really incredible oil that I love so much. For heart palpitations, I mean, it really depends on where they're coming from. Like if it's because you're anxious, like putting oils over the heart is always really nice to kind of calm things down. And that's going to be Roman chamomile, ylang-ylang. I always call ylang-ylang the heart-centered oil. Bergamot is a great one as well. Clary sage is going to be great. Vetiver over the heart is going to be great as well. So those would be the oils I would put over the heart. Again, but if it's something cardiovascular, they're not going to necessarily help with that. So it just depends on what kind of heart palpitations we're talking about. Soft tissue sensitivity around the left hip, definitely worth looking into what's going on there. I would just be putting oils on like frankincense and wintergreen to kind of just relax that sensitivity. I don't know if it's a dense connective issue or it's a soft connective issue, a soft tissue connective issue, or it's a joint issue. It's not a lot of clarity there, but definitely you can put oils that are just kind of soothe those muscles and joints. Ones that I talked about for any joints would be the same thing for the hip as well. Someone asked oils for thyroid. I have a whole podcast episode on that that I talk about all the time. And I got tons of oils for that as well. Again, a thyroid is a multifaceted approach. It's an endocrine gland. So there's no one oil that's going to fix your thyroid. As for swallowing, I don't have any recommendations for that. Definitely go and get that checked out immediately if she's having a difficult time swallowing, especially if it's because of a goiter. If you're dealing with some type of thyroid goiter, then absolutely, please go get that looked at. Go see what's going on there. Nicolette, I don't seem to lose weight. And when I do, it's very slow. Yeah, absolutely understand. The thing that I always recommend for women is my 14-day hormone detox. It's really about giving your body a full reset. Most likely your liver and your gut are involved in that. And for some reason, your metabolism is just not turning on. So that's the thing I would recommend for you. We will be doing a new detox group in the month of May, and I would love to have you join us. But again, no one size fits all in terms of metabolism or in terms of weight loss. Also look into the thyroid and see if there's anything going on with your thyroid, if it's running on low, because that could absolutely have a massive impact on not only cellular metabolism, but also full on body metabolism. So important to look at those things as well. And if you do have low thyroid function, the detox will be super, super helpful. I'm pretty much on my detox all the time because that's kind of how I have to eat to support my thyroid and my metabolism. And then I just wanted to let you know, I know there's so many great questions about how to use oils and for specific issues. And I know I've been there where I'm not getting the answers that I need from my doctors, or they're trying to recommend all kinds of stuff that I don't think is going to serve me. The course that I have available for everyone, if you want to use oils for your family, is my 101 course. Right now, because of all of this going on, we're offering it at 75% off. And so there's a code for it. And I know that my team's been putting it into the chats, into the little boxes so that you have it. But it's drmariza.com/75 off. And you get all the modules, you get all the videos, you get all the cheat sheets, you get everything that you need to get started with essential oils. And so the reason I really wanted to have this conversation with you today is I wanted you to have a resource that you could trust. I wanted you to feel confident and comfortable using oils in your home. Now, for really big chronic diseases, there just aren't oils that affect that, because we've been so programmed to believe that there's just one fix all, but it's not that. Let's be honest, most of the disease is inflammation, and we got to figure out where the root cause of that inflammation is coming from. And there's no essential oil that's going to get to the root cause of your inflammation, whether it's low thyroid issue, whether it's cancer, whether it is your period is missing. Again, that is an inflammatory concern, and we've got to dig deeper. And guess what? We deserve to dig deeper to find out what's going on with our bodies. And we deserve a different answer than this pill is going to fix this, because it's not true. It's just simply not true. And so, it's got to be an integrative approach if we want to see true healing. Now, sometimes we get to a point where it gets so bad that we absolutely do need a medication because we're at a point of no return. But I promise you, putting the integrative pieces back in place, eating the right foods, loving your body and nourishing your body, those are always going to be wins. I know a lot of people have been asking me, how do I keep myself protected? How do I boost my immune system? And so much of it has to do with the gut. But what are we feeding our guts? Are we feeding our guts a bunch of processed foods? Are we feeding our guts a bunch of packaged foods? If that's the case, we're definitely setting ourselves up for failure, right? Because our immune system is having to manage all of that. And so just something to be thinking about when you are going down this pathway. And if you're looking for another great resource, my podcast covers all of this in such great detail and depth. I've had the best experts on for cancer. I've had the best experts on for thyroid, had the best experts on for fixing your period and getting your menstrual cycle back on track, because I want you to know the real truth on how to fix your body. We deserve the real truth. We don't deserve to get the prescription pad and be sent on our way and told that this is just what happens. Because that's just not an answer I'm willing to tolerate any longer. So I just wanted to share that with you as well around my philosophy for getting well. As a person who has an autoimmune condition, has low thyroid function, and to be on the other side of that, I know that our bodies have an inherent ability to heal. It's just a matter of what is going on. So couple questions. If it's facial hair, definitely look into PCOS, right? And see what's going on there. I do love geranium and tea tree oil for supporting facial hair. But again, get to the root cause of the problem, get to the PCOS, and get to the androgen issue. Next is going to be, what can someone do to swallow capsules? I would use a green smoothie. If you're having a hard time swallowing capsules, do a green smoothie. That'll really help get them down for sure. And it's, in terms of neck tension or head tension, frankincense, lavender, and peppermint are great. Those are going to be absolutely amazing if you're dealing with any type of head tension as well. I don't care if it comes when your hormones happen or not. If you're getting headaches when your hormones, like during PMS, that's an indicator of estrogen dominance. And so you want to be looking at your estrogen and progesterone levels. Again, just because they're off doesn't mean that they're the problem. They're just responding to the situation. When we're dealing with estrogen dominance and we have headaches before our period, usually our liver is taxed, our gut is taxed, and we got to look at those things. And that's what my detox really solves as well. That's the reason why I created it. I had so many women coming to me with hormone-driven headaches and fibrocystic breast and just feeling bloated and PMS symptoms out the roof. And it's just a symptom of estrogen dominance. And so there's a lot of different things that we can do for that. And I've got full-on episodes on estrogen dominance, literally what to do verbatim on how to fix that. Last thing I just want to mention, because it's an hour-long webinar, or hour-long class today, a little EO 101 class, is again, if you are looking for solutions for your family and you're feeling very lost, you're not exactly sure where to turn, and you're looking for a very inexpensive resource that will set you up for life. Like, I can't imagine not knowing what to do with these oils. I can't imagine not knowing how to make an immune balm, or how to have a respiratory blend ready, or how to deal with a minor headache or a digestive issue, like that. And that's what we use. It's our first line of defense every single day, all the time. So if you're looking for a resource that will get you there, like with step-by-step do it for you guides, do it for you cheat sheets. That's what I created this course for. And it's based on all the questions and all the concerns and all the fears around using essential oils over the years. It is available now. It's only available for a couple more days at the 75% off price. It's only $47 right now. And usually we have it for a lot more than that. We usually have it for $197. So I highly recommend, if you are ready to get on the bandwagon and start using these powerful, incredible solutions, for everyday issues and for green cleaning and for reducing your toxic load and for personal care, all of it. This is going to be the course you want to get your hands on. So I just want to say thank you so much for staying with me and being with me today. It was so much fun to have you here. I know I really loved answering some of your questions. I apologize for not being able to go into more depth, but I just want you to know I don't want to ever steer you wrong in the wrong direction, because it just some of these problems are just a lot more in depth than just simple essential oil. And I think you know that, right? Like you're like, is there really an essential oil that can fix that? No, it's more than that. So I just wanted to jump on and spend time with you today. I look forward to connecting with you soon. And again, if you're ready to take that leap, grab the course, and I will see you on the other side. We have a beautiful Facebook group. We have all these amazing bonuses for you. I know you're going to love it. I know you're going to love everyone that you're going to be a part of it with. And you're going to feel so good that you know how to use these solutions, that you've got them at your fingertips, that you know how to plug and play anytime something comes up in your family. Gosh, it's happened every single time, from bumping our heads to sunburns to digestive issues to feeling like I'm fighting something, and being able to have a solution for that. So again, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you again. And I'm so glad I was able to answer a lot of your questions today.